Good evening, this is Chamuth Fernando bringing you the news roundup.
The top story on Gold FM.
A naval blockade targeting Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz came into effect at 7:30 p.m. In a Truth Social post this evening, US President Donald Trump threatened to eliminate any of the Iranian ships that come close to the blockade. The US Central Command warned that vessels entering or departing the blockaded area without authorization are subject to interception, diversion, and capture. The US Navy is also instructed to search and intercept any ship in international waters that paid transit tolls to Iran. Additionally, the US plans to begin clearing mines allegedly placed by Iranian forces in the waterway. Against this backdrop, Qatar's Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani held a call with Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. According to Qatar's Foreign Ministry, the Qatari Foreign Minister stressed the need to keep waterways open, saying they should not be used as a pressure tactic or bargaining chip. He added that all parties needed to respond to current mediation efforts to end the war. Meanwhile, the UK Maritime Trade Operations warned in a new advisory that ships should be prepared to encounter the US blockade. The note to seafarers urges any vessels in the area to maintain heightened situational awareness and notes that more specific guidance is to follow. The UK MTO encourages anyone sailing the Gulf of Oman, and the Arabian Sea east of the Strait of Hormuz to expect military presence and possible interception. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer told the Parliament that the UK is not supporting the blockade of Iranian ports initiated by the United States. Speaking as the restrictions took effect, the Prime Minister clarified the British government's position during a statement on the Middle East in the House of Commons. In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, however, confirmed Israel's full support for the United States naval blockade of Iranian ports during a video address to his cabinet. He described the measure as a firm stance against Tehran following discussions with US Vice President J.D. Vance. In the meantime, Pakistani Defense Minister Khawaja Asif suggested a potential return to negotiations between the United States and Iran. This follows a failure to reach an agreement during weekend talks in Islamabad.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
Sri Lankans will be celebrating the Sinhala and Tamil New Year tomorrow. The New Year period on the island is a time for family reunions, traditional rituals, and community games. As per the auspicious times for this year, the Sinhala and Tamil New Year will officially dawn at 9:32 am tomorrow. The period of spiritual reflection, the Nagadaya, begins much earlier at 3:08 am tomorrow morning and will conclude at 3:56 pm in the afternoon. During this time, the public is encouraged to engage in religious activities and distance themselves from worldly work. Once the New Year dawns, the hearth should be lit at the auspicious time of 10:51 am tomorrow. Shortly after, at 12:06 pm, the nation will unite to commence work, engaging in financial transactions and partake in the first meal of the New Year. As far as other rituals are concerned, the anointing of oil is scheduled for Wednesday at 6:55 am. For those needing to depart for urgent duties, the time is 5:38 am on Friday facing the north. For the general return to work on Monday, the 20th of April, you may depart at 6:27 am facing south or 6:50 am facing east. Finally, for those looking to nourish the environment, the auspicious time for planting a sapling is set for 9:01 am on the 23rd of April while facing the northern direction. Meanwhile, the Hiru Media Network completes all preparations for the Surya Singhale Hiru Ekka Tunghele Aurudu Mangalya at the White Lotus premises in Bolgoda. Over 200 veterans and popular artists join the cultural spectacle, a concept by Hiru Media Network chairman Reno Silva. This traditional celebration brings authentic New Year rituals to television screens, aiming to communicate cultural values to the younger generation. As the Sinhala and Tamil New Year approaches, medical experts are calling on parents to prioritize child safety to prevent firework-related injuries. Doctors warn that a lack of safety awareness among young children frequently leads to avoidable accidents during the festivities. Experts stress that close parental supervision is the most effective way to ensure the holiday remains celebratory rather than ending in a medical emergency. An audio recording is being distorted and circulated on social media with various interpretations. This was said by Lanka Coal Company Chairman Jayantha Ratnayaka in a statement today. This follows a complaint filed with the CID today by Samaga Jana Balawege MP Mujibur Rahman and others regarding an emergency tender for coal imports. The chairman's statement further explained that the circulated content relates to a telephone conversation on the 25th of March. It is between the general manager of the company and an official of the local agent for the coal supplying firm. The statement said the communication involved a notification regarding a performance bond issued by the bank for a company already awarded the contract through the tender board with cabinet approval, which the chairman claims is now being misrepresented.
Now for some news in brief.
The Department of Meteorology warns that heat levels felt by the human body will remain at a caution level in several parts of the island tomorrow, and accordingly, warm weather is expected to affect the northern, north central, northwestern, western and southern provinces, as well as certain areas within the Trincomalee district.
The business news on Gold FM.
The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries lowered its global oil demand forecast for the second quarter of 2026 by 500,000 barrels per day. OPEC officials cited the ongoing conflict in the Middle East as a primary driver for the downward revision in its latest monthly market report. World demand now sits at a projected average of 105.07 million barrels per day, reflecting a decline from previous estimates. The producer group noted that geopolitical developments triggered a transitory weakness in demand growth across both developed and emerging economies.
International news on Gold FM.
European Central Bank Vice President Boris Vujicic stated that current energy prices align with the bank's basic projections and should not negatively impact inflation or economic growth. Speaking to foreign media, the Vice President noted that Europe's energy system now possesses greater resistance to shock caused by Middle East conflicts compared to the Russia-Ukraine war in 2022.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Legendary playback singer Asha Bhosle was cremated with full state honours at Shivaji Park today following her death at age of 92. She passed away yesterday while receiving treatment at a hospital in Mumbai.
Sports news on Gold FM.
Reports indicate the bowling action of all-rounder Chamida Wickramasinghe remains under suspicion. Match officials reported the matter to the High Performance Unit during the ongoing National Super League domestic cricket tournament. The 23-year-old Wickramasinghe represented Sri Lanka in 4 one-day internationals and 3 T20 internationals. That's it from the news roundup. Have a good night and also wish you all a very happy New Year.